Go.
Hi, I'm and I'm here to interview Steve, who is a co-offender who has served a sentence in state prison, and he's here to share about his experience reintegrating into society. Steve, can you tell us about your experience?
Well, my experience was awful. I mean, I didn't know anything else but robbing and stealing. Tough guy hanging out with tough gangs and all this. And finally I got caught and I got arrested. And I got sentenced to 11 years in prison for armed robbery. And I was doing it for drugs and alcohol. And I served 9 years. And
your first sentence was 9 years?
My first sentence was 9 years.
Okay.
And I got out of prison then. And I didn't learn anything in prison. The only thing I learned in prison was to be tougher, meaner, try to get smarter, try not to get caught again. Nothing about life, nothing about handling knife, nothing about being a good person, nothing spiritual.
Did you have any rehabilitation programs offered to you upon your first release?
No. The only thing that I had to do was be with my parole officer and take drug tests. And every time I took drug tests, it was positive. So that got old. And,
were there any job opportunities for you?
No, it was. No, who's going to hire a prison guard? So this is, and I didn't look for any jobs either. You know, I wanted to go the easy way and steal and rob and cheat and connive. And it's all about me. So you know, I didn't even investigate. I didn't care. And I went right back to it again. And I got caught again. Stealing at a bank, robbing at a bank, and this time I got sentenced to 10 years or 11 years for the second time. And after 6 years in prison was a turning point for me because my mother passed away, and they took me to the funeral home, and they took me in shackles, and I'm there in shackles, and as I pull up to the funeral home, I'm in the cop car. I look, and right next door is the bank. Here's my mother being buried in this funeral home. So, ironic, I don't know. I just knew at that time that I had to change my life, and so I decided then. I had 5 more years left on my sentence, and I decided then how I was going to work my aftercare, what I was going to do, and I was going to be a good person. I wasn't going to be the thief and low scum that my mother didn't want me to be.
Yeah. So what were your plans? How were you going to be rehabilitated?
Well, first I started going to AA in prison.
Okay.
And I started to get the message of hope in prison.
Okay.
And then I started planning Project Turnabout, which they have here in Boston. And I went there, and then I met a terrific social worker. And this person was absolutely pivotal in my life, you know, and learning how to manage life, learning how to do, even balancing a checkbook, how to be I didn't know how to be social with people. I've been in prison, and this person really was instrumental in my life.
And there was group therapy and stuff.
Oh yes, a lot of group therapy, a lot of individual therapy, a lot of AA. I continue today, and now I want to give back, and I'm working at Project Turnabout to help give back. I know I'm not going to be a social worker or get a degree for that, but at least I can help for it, and you know.
You were able to find a job through friends in the program.
Yes, I did. What happened was, by the grace of God, I met a person in AA who had a friend, and that friend gave me a job.
Yeah,
and I was
because
learning.
Corey's would still be impossible for you to get a job through. Your social function society because that rehabilitation program.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And where would you be if you didn't go to this rehab?
Well, I'd either be dead or in prison, one or the other.
Yeah. So rehabilitation, post-jail, PTSD, correct, you would say?
Without a doubt, I needed it. Yeah, I needed how to live. I needed to learn how to live, and I wouldn't have gotten it without the support system, without their help.
Thank you, Steve.